Hi, in the second part, we will install the developer portal. So let's first import the image for the developer portal, the OVA file into the VMware. We could select a folder to where it should be imported. And once the import process is finished, we could change the settings to use maybe 1 CPU core and 4 gig memory. It could have lived with lesser memory also, but let's give it 4 GB anyway. And for the network, we will select the network that we created so that it will have connectivity to internet and to other VM images. So once you start up, it will complain about not able to connect a couple of hard disks, which is okay. We log in as admin and exclamation R1T0C, the password which is given in the knowledge center. Let's switch the mode to super user so that we can edit the network settings. So first we'll edit the etc network interfaces. There are two network interfaces here. I will disable one of them, the ETH1. Just comment it out. And for the ETH0, we will change it from DHCP to static and assign an IP address. So in the next line, we could type in the IP address, and this is the format for typing in that IP address, and then the gateway and the net mask. So save it in VI. We could restart the network using service network restart. But before that, let's edit the DNS settings in the etc/resolve.conf. So we'll change the domain to demo.ibm, search to none, and the name server to 10.0.0.2. So we could restart the network service using server's networking restart and bring up the ETH0 interface using the command ifs up ETH0. The next is that we could add host entries for our data power and management server in the /etc/hosts. So it's just the IP tab host name. So 10.0.0.1 is dp.demo.ibm and 10.0.0.11 is management.demo.ibm. And we could add an entry for the portal also, which is this image. So 10.0.0.12 is portal.demo.ibm. Let's ping this IP addresses to see if it works. And of course, we could have checked pinging an external site such as IBM.com also. That should work as well. And the next thing to do for us is to go to the web UI, to the Cloud Management Console. And in the Developer Portal tab, we need to enable the Developer Portal. We could provide the hostname or the IP. Let's provide the IP address here. The next thing that we need to do is to copy this public key. And once we type this in, save it. So we need to use the floppy disk icon to save it. Uh, and we copy this public key and we need to take it to the dev portal image to run essentially a command. So we can SSH it to that image so that we could copy into that. So SSH it as admin at the IP address. It will prompt us to accept the security key and type in the password to log in. And then you could use vi or cat or some command to copy, to paste whatever we copied from the browser. So here I'm just pasting it to a file called cert.txt. It could have been any name. And I'm just removing one line to make sure that it is only whatever I copied. The next command is that we cat this content of the file to the command set apim host. which is followed by the portal's hostname and the management server's hostname. So the portal's hostname is portal.demo.ibm for us, and the management is mgmt.demo.ibm. So after that, we could set the SMTP server using the command set underscore SMTP followed by IP and the port of the SMTP server which is running. In our case, it's a fake SMTP. So it will prompt us to test the email connectivity. We can verify that we get an email, which is required when we go forward. And for the development environment, we could disable certificate checking using command set underscore APIM underscore cert. The next is that we could log into the API manager, not the cloud manager, and here we could go to the dashboard and we could go to the settings and portal and enable the developer portal. So in our case, it's only one environment, which is a sandbox. If you had multiple environments, you could have had multiple developer portals. So here for the URL, let's give it the host name, which is portal.demo.ibm. So our full URL is portal.demo.ibm/cards/sb. So once it saves, the portal will be provisioned within the dev portal image. We could check the status of provisioning using the command list underscore sites. And once the provisioning is complete, we will get an email saying that the dev portal is ready for us. Here I am just running the list underscore sites as a watch command to check the status. It's installed now. And to access it through the browser, uh, we need to access with the demo. The portal.demo.ibm itself, not with the IP. So on my host machine, I'm just adding an etc host entry so that when I type it in the browser and the host machine, it will resolve to portal.demo.ibm. And the next is that like we could just type https or http portal.demo.ibm/cards/sp, which is the full URL. And you can see that the portal is working and there are no errors or exceptions thrown at this page. And as I mentioned earlier, we could have got an email by now. We could check in our fake SMTP server for the availability of email. And this email would give us the link to the admin user interface or the admin login. First time it will prompt us to change the password. So you could set password of your convenience. And this user interface essentially lets you customize the look and feel of the portal and do other admin tasks. And that's it. Thank you.